welcome to The Traveling Introvert. Today I am going to talk about something that came up recently. There was a post in a group that I am in saying, what is your morning routine? And so many people responded, oh, I do this, I do that, I do the other. There was everything in a range from cuddling my cat to listening to podcasts to hitting the snooze button. And it made me think. And I ended up posting going, wait, is everyone a morning person? Am I missing something here? Everyone's a morning? Oh, okay then. Well, that's nice. I personally am not a morning person. And I find it interesting because there are a lot of books and articles, 10 things millionaires do before they get up in the morning, or 20 tricks that you must do to earn your millions before 9 a.m. in the morning, and all these things you should do before the morning, because only people who are morning people are successful and rich. I don't think that's true. If you are not a morning person, you are not alone. There are definitely enough of us around who are not morning people. And one of the things I love about not being a morning person is I can work with different time zones. I can work with time zones because I tend to be a bit of a night owl. I can work with time zones that are slightly off from mine. Or I can get a lot of work done because it's super quiet and queue emails and messages and things to be sent out the next day. This one client, I guess I could do work in the night and they get up the next morning and there's stuff there. It's really, really interesting that you are seen as a little weird or abnormal just because your body clock is a little different. So what I recommend to anyone, morning person or evening person or night person, is figure out when you are most productive. Not when people say you are most productive, but when you are most productive. For example, for me, I can be really productive from about 7 p.m. to about 10. For some reason, afternoons and evenings work really well for me. Mid-afternoon, I kind of hit a slump and like to nap. And so that's not necessarily the best time to get me. But figure those times out. And once you do, see what you can do to rearrange your work so that it is aligned with those times. For example, I tend to take more calls in the evening because that's when I'm more awake and jazzed and it's not as tiring. If I have calls like I did today, for example, I had calls all morning. I know this afternoon and tonight I'm going to be super tired and not as productive. It was not the best use of my time, but it was unavoidable. Sometimes these circumstances happen, but I made sure for the rest of the week that most of my good calls and things that I want to do are in the evenings. So that's how that works out for me. Figure out what time is your most productive and then do your call work around those hours. Now, as I was saying before about the things you should do before whatever time in the morning, regardless if you're a morning or night person, make a list. Make a list of what you're going to do tomorrow, what you want to do. And see if it's too much, too little. Do you have enough time? Is it things you don't like? There's nothing worse than having a day full of stuff you don't like. Try and split that up throughout the week. Or maybe you're into that. Maybe it works for you to just get everything you hate out the way on a Monday morning, which leaves the rest of your week free. But experiment. Figure out what works for you. And you can do that even if you have a 9-to-5 job. You do have some control to a degree of what you can and can't do and when you can do it. I know there's definitely people who have said, you know what, for the next 2 hours, I'm going to be off Slack, I'm going to be off all the messenger things, I'm just going to close my door and work on this one project. If you send me an email, I will not see it until, this time. And so people respect that, or at least know that that's what's going on, and then you can come back to that work. So there is ways of blocking off your time and how you work to make it work for you. Thank you. This has been The Traveling Introvert. You can email me at janice@thecareerintrovert.com. Look us up on Facebook at thetravelingintrovert.com, or you can become a patron. Go to Patreon and look for The Career Introvert, and you can become an awesome supporter of ours for just $1 a month. And if you want to donate a little bit more, you can get your question answered on this podcast right here, right now. The other thing we can do is I'm going to be doing videos, helpful videos for introverts or for people in general, job hunting, career changing, and so on and so forth, that will be only and exclusively available on Patreon. It will not be in my school for the Career School for Introverts. It won't be in there. It will only be on Patreon. So I look forward to hearing from you and see you soon.